Well, there we go. Very famous brand. It's been around for a long time, enough to be seeing war, which is where it's got its first iconic color, that green. We are, of course, talking about the Stanley Cups, or thermoses, which I believe is a brand name, so we have to call them Stanley...
Insulated cups, mugs.
Yes, mugs. Insulated, closable, capped cups. Anyways, so basically these have been made for a long time, but they didn't find much purchase. It was more of just an average brand with average numbers, average sort of profit. They did advertise themselves as being one of the only non-glass thermoses, which was quite nice because I can't imagine bringing around glass. Not only is it heavier, but it's going to break easier. And this was, of course, before plastics kind of had a huge impact on the scene. So they've been around for a long time. They just didn't have a lot of sort of sales. But somehow, somewhere, they've started to find that they started to get a bit more popular. They got this sort of first boost in popularity because people wanted to, like you said, get away from these sort of like plastic usage and get into a more of a renewable thing. But it wasn't a huge bump. It was just like a little blip. However, these days, they've been trying new things and they finally found something that really hit the nail on the head. They found a Starbucks collab. And I know it's kind of like disappointing that Stanley didn't get it on their own, but who does anything on their own nowadays? We're all networking, right? So Stanley said, hey, Starbucks, you know this whole get hydrated sort of trend that's going on? Why don't you collab with us and we'll stay hydrated together? And Starbucks was like, money? What? And so they decided to have a bright pink one and a bright red one released, which took the world by storm. And it's not just America, it is the world. A lot of people were trying to get their hands on these mugs, Stanley brand. A lot of people suddenly knew Stanley as a household name, and it became cool to have a Stanley, Starbucks, but still Stanley, thermos. I'm going to call it thermos, sorry. It's one of those things like Google. It's just become public use. Like you Google something and I'm not going to be sued if I say I Googled something.
Yeah,
and I think thermos is like that as well, like Kleenex, yeah. So that thermos became super, super popular. To the point where people were trying to hoard them, fight each other. It's America. Or the employees were trying to keep them secret so that they could buy them later, right? Then they were being fired.
Yeah, fired for hiding the cups.
I can't imagine. Back in my day, when I worked at Starbucks, people used to get in trouble for hiding the pumpkin spice syrup because it was so popular in America. It's not the same pumpkin spice as Korea. Do not get them mixed up. Different tastes, way different tastes. Anyway, so this one was like Pumpkin Spice 2.0, the Stanley Cup. Isn't the Stanley Cup like an actual
Is this a sporting event?
Yeah.
Is it golf or?
Tennis or something?
Tennis?
I don't remember it. Maybe it's golf. You're probably right.
Yes.
Anyways, but long story short, Stanley has seen a huge uptick in their sales, and they are trying to ride this train into the new years.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. All right, let's get into a couple questions. Now, it did say that Stanley brand cups were green most of their life. And recently they've tried a new color called red and pink.
Shocking.
Hey, look at this.
Wow.
Do colors actually affect what you buy, like the products you buy?
I guess so. I mean, I do like if something is green, I do gravitate towards it because that's my favorite color. So yes, like if I saw a range of lipsticks in all different packaging, I might pick the one with the green packaging.
Packaging. It's like
if
the
I had
green
a
lipstick.
Yeah, that's not the most wearable lipstick color, but I mean the packaging. Yes, it might affect my choices. If it
Are
was
you like
green.
a forest green, olive,
jade,
bright, jade
green? Yes.
That'll get you.
And it is nice to have things in a range of colors, especially if you've got multiple of the same item. Like if we've all got a Stanley Cup in the family, Daddy's got the red one, Mummy's got the blue one, Kid has got the yellow one. If they're all the same color, you don't know whose cup is whose.
Tumblers. That's the name.
Tumbler.
Gosh. And we call ourselves English teachers.
We're English teachers with limited brain capacity. We can't remember every word. English language has too many.
True. No matter what job I do, we can keep that title, limited brain capacity. So have you seen this like trend with like water bottles, tumblers, and everything? And do you think that in your country, in the UK, these tumblers have not just been used practically, but also almost as a fashion accessory?
Yeah, I think the trend for tumbler collecting, I mean, it doesn't grab me, but then I'm a makeup collector, which a lot of people are like, why do you need 10 different blushes just because they have different packaging when you can't possibly use up 10 different blushes in an entire lifetime? So yeah, some people just like collecting things. It is perhaps not so great because it's overconsumption. But then it's only tumblers. We're not exactly breaking the bank. You know, it's not like collecting Louis Vuitton bags or something, which people do as well. So, you know, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not that.
Just for the environment.
Yeah.
This is my 20-second plastic water bottle.
Yeah, it's a 500 water bottle.
Yeah. Metal's not the worst for the environment, but it's not great either.
The reason I chose a metal tumbler rather than the plastic one is about production energy. It takes tons of energy to produce glass. To make energy requires burning a lot of fossil fuels. So.
Yeah, metal's a bit easier. You can pound it.
Yep.
All right, well, if you guys have a water bottle, raise it up, take a little swig out of there, and then realize that this vocabulary is important. Fill up your water bottle, get ready, and start studying. Make it into your everyday English, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Gravitate.
Gravitate.
Drab.
Drab.
Resurgence.
Resurgence.
Quench.
Quench.
Get the word out.
Get the word out.